Hello, dear friends. I'm Marina from MarsStars.net, and this is the June horoscope for everyone with Sun or Ascendant in Pisces. Very exciting, very important month, one of the most important months during the whole year. The main reason is because Mars will go retrograde, but this will happen by the end of the month. So we are preparing for that, but the influence will be really strong by the end of June. So stay with me if you want to learn more about this specific event, which is actually quite rare. Happens once in 2 years for 2 months. So not such a short period, and we really need to get prepared for this. Now, let's start before that with, of course, the beginning of June. And there is actually something very, very positive. We have a grand trine in water signs. Venus is in Cancer and Jupiter is in Scorpio, plus Neptune is in Pisces. And these three planets are connected with only positive harmonious aspects. This configuration, which is called Grand Trine, is considered to be the most harmonious astrological configuration. It can bring you pleasant experiences, success, luck, achievements. Basically, things happen easier and can be very, very beneficial. Now, for you guys, this actually affects the fire houses, first house, fifth, and ninth house. So very important, very positive, and it's about taking action. Normally, water planets, specifically in water signs, they can be related to emotions, feelings, creativity, inspiration, love, all of those issues. But in your case, it can also be about taking concrete actions. They can still be related to something about your romantic life or creative projects you might have. But the key here is that you need to do something. And by doing something, you can be very successful. It might be, for example, about initiating a new date, asking someone out, or planning something about your future, or doing something about yourself. You can be successful. You can feel really nice about it. You can feel very satisfied emotionally. So the whole first week of June will be influenced from this grand trine and should be very, very positive for all of us. Now, the other thing which we have at the beginning of June is the transit sun in Gemini in your fourth house. This is actually very positive transit for you to focus on your family and family members. Spend more time at home or fix something at home, or in some cases, just relax more. Fourth house is the most secret, the deepest house actually. So whenever you're doing something, it's not so visible for others. But at the same time, you may recharge yourself with energy. You may reconnect with yourself or reconnect with family members or close people which are important to you. So focus more on private issues, not so much social, not so much related to career, but more like your personal life. After that, on the 21st, the sun will enter Cancer and your fifth house. This is a fantastic combination because fifth house is really one of the most positive houses. And it would be a great time for you and spend more time on entertainment, spend more time on your hobbies, on the things that you really love, spending more time with people that you really love. It might be your children, it might be your romantic partner, it might be going out on a new date, it might be taking some risks. Fifth house is also about taking risks. And I think one of the highest risks is doing what you want for yourself. So kind of, being kind of selfish. And sometimes we forget that this is also important, to pay attention to our inner needs, to listen to our hearts. So a great time actually to reconnect with yourself, to also realize what you truly want for yourself. And as I said, everything related to creativity and art and inspiration and joy, and sometimes even hobbies and going out on parties is also great. All right, next we have also Mercury in Gemini in fourth house at the beginning of June. which can help you to solve some issues with family members. Maybe take some important decisions related to the place where you are living. Maybe plan something together with your family and organize a meeting, or, you know, maybe just spend more time talking to each other. After that, from the 12th of June, Mercury enters Cancer in your fifth house. So this transit actually can help you to maybe connect with your children more, or also spend more time on something which is intellectual and creative at the same time, especially if your work requires that, especially if your nature is more creative. You may have some, you know, creative ideas which you can implement right now. Or also, you can go on a date. This is a fantastic time to ask someone out, to share your feelings, to, you know, really express how you truly feel. And after the 29th of June, Mercury enters Leo and your sixth house, which puts more focus on work, obligations, responsibilities. Mercury in sixth house is very actually strong because that's the natural ruler. So Mercury feels comfortable there, and you can benefit from this transit, especially in terms of your work, especially in terms of some concrete plans you can make, negotiations, business contracts, and basically making you more productive and intellectually, mentally actually concentrated and focused specifically about work. Also, at the beginning of June, we have Venus in Cancer in your fifth house. Very supportive, very positive position actually, because Venus and fifth house are kind of similar in many ways. They are both related to love, to entertainment and joy. So a great time for your personal life, for falling in love, for, you know, asking someone out, going out on a date, and also for art and creativity. You might be extremely inspired. You may enjoy. If you're not an artist, not everyone, of course, is a creative person. Not everyone invents or create things. But if you are not that person, you may just go and enjoy the art that others have created. And again, you can really feel emotionally satisfied. You may feel touched on a very deep emotional level. So enjoy art, enjoy creative things, enjoy beauty, enjoy yourself as well. After the 13th, Venus will enter Leo and your sixth house. So you can really enjoy the working process. You can feel more comfortable with your work. You can find more time to relax. Remember, Venus is not a planet related to hard work and efforts. It's about comfort, receiving things, and actually enjoying things. So you might be also more emotional about your work during this time. You might be really attached to something you want to achieve about work, about you know, harmonizing also your relationship with coworkers. Maybe some of you may even find love at your workplace by meeting someone new. Who knows what Venus in sixth house can bring you, but for sure this is nice and positive. That's what we know. Okay, and then we have Neptune going retrograde. Neptune will be retrograde from the 19th of June, and basically it will be stationary at the 16 degrees and 30 minutes in Pisces. So very important transit for you guys, especially if your sun or ascendant sign or another planet is close to this degree. Then you can really feel the influence of this transit. Normally, it's not such a big deal. Neptune is retrograde like a couple of months each year, so not so significant for us, but specifically those few days around the retrograde phase are actually the really important one. And for you, this is first of all the ruler of your sign. Second of all, it transits in its natural sign in Pisces. So for you, this is actually more important than for the other signs. And be careful for possible mistakes, things you might forget, things you might be misled with, or in some cases, possible lies, cheats from others. Please try to avoid the important personal steps and decisions around these few days. And finally, we also have Mars going retrograde. This transit is actually a big deal. And for you guys, Mars will be retrograde in 12th house. Basically, the transit starts from the 27th of June. Mars will be retrograde for 2 months after that. And we're going to have a special webinar. If you want to join us, you can find the link in the description below. Everyone who signs for the webinar will also get a personal report from me, including where specifically Mars will be retrograde in your chart and in which house, plus what kind of aspects it will make with your natal planets, because that's very, very important. If Mars retrograde makes a challenging aspect with your natal planets, you really need to be careful. For other people, it might be a case when that's a neutral period, not so stressful. For others, it might be more stressful than usual. So in order to give you specific personal information, I need to see your chart. So sign up for the webinar if you want to get this personal information. Plus, also you will get general information about what you should do when Mars is retrograde, what should be avoided, how to prepare about this period, how to take advantage of this period. And also you will get a daily calendar about the exact degree position of Mars day by day. So again, you will know when it will trigger something in your natal chart. In your case, Mars is in 12th house, not the whole period, but most of the period is in 12th house. And this is something which is mostly related to the past. It could be related to your karma as well. It could be related to your inner experiences, spiritual stuff. So in some cases, secrets. So if you want to learn more about it, please sign up for the webinar. Also, in the description below, you will find all of the dates about the events I just mentioned, with concrete ingressions of planets, in which signs they are going to, and in which houses actually they will trigger in your natal chart. So interesting, exciting month. We need to prepare. However, the beginning is very positive, definitely. At the end, we need to be more careful. So that's the most important. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you very soon.